And once again this morning, we are welcoming in Dr. Joe Van Fossen, Assistant Professor of Physics. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Brad. How are you today?
Good. Hey, it's great to have you on. Great to have you back, too. And I forgot to ask you before we talked, how long have you been back home, so to speak, at Kent State Tuscarawas?
I'm in my third year back home here at Kent State Tuscarawas as a full-time physics faculty member, and it's great to be back.
Yeah, it's great to have you. You made the trip and came back from North Carolina. I wish our weather was more like theirs, but other than that, I'm sure it's great to be home. So tell us a little bit about the physics, how to get a physics degree, what the current state of the department is now with, with COVID, unfortunately, and just how things are going there.
Sure. So at Kent State, we offer physics degrees ranging anywhere from a bachelor's degree all the way up through a PhD. And it turns out that physics labs are some of the few classes that still meet in person during the pandemic. I've been running my classes as a mixture of remote classes and face-to-face classes with kind of the lecture-based introductory level classes such as 7 Ideas That Shook the Universe and Physics and Entertainment and the Arts as remote online courses, and then my general college physics classes that support our engineering technology program down here at Kent Tusc. Those have been meeting mostly in person, along with my lab for the general college physics course and the physics and entertainment and the arts lab.
I was going to think that, that the labs would almost have to be hands-on because otherwise, how are you going to figure things out, right?
Yeah, certainly. For the lab-based courses, it's definitely best to meet hands-on. Currently, we are shifting to going remote for the last 2 weeks of courses before finals week, and so at this point, our labs will be forced to go online after Thanksgiving break, and what that means is that I will come up with a couple little hands-on activities that the students can do at home and make their measurements, as well as incorporate some kind of virtual learning techniques where you can use some digitized experiments that are simulated online and be able to kind of replicate the in-person experience, at least to some extent,
right,
as we go forward here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, and that entails a lot of creative thinking on your part, so my hat's off to you and the educators who are inventing new ways to learn right now. Has that been a big challenge for you?
Yeah, it's certainly been a challenge because it's resulted in a drastic shift for the way that we deliver content. And physics is traditionally one of those courses where meeting in person, writing on the whiteboard, solving equations, working out problems is one of those things that is definitely easiestly done in the classroom as opposed to trying to do it remotely. But we've been able to make the shift by employing various technologies such as grabbing an iPad and using it as a whiteboard to be able to write out equations and still maintain that kind of traditional way of problem solving in a new environment. And so it's been a pretty successful transition, I think. But certainly we all welcome the idea of getting back into the classroom as much as possible, as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So we just have to see how things play out over the next weeks and months to see where we end up.
Face-to-face is nice, that's for sure. So with the wide variety of areas that you had talked about, what are some of the career options that some of the older students are preparing themselves for? Do you have a grip on that at all?
Sure. So, at the Kent campus where the majority of our physics majors are, a number of them tend to take a graduate school track and push on towards a master's degree in physics or a related discipline or a PhD program that they may want to enroll in. Those physics majors that decide not to go on tend to find themselves spread across a wide variety of fields related to physics and mathematics and computational analysis. And so with adding in a little bit of engineering technology type programs. Those physics candidates make great candidates as lab technicians in various engineering fields. They find their way into the insurance business, doing risk analysis, all sorts of various research-related fields, finding their way into, say, NASA Glenn to work on research projects and things of that nature. And so there are a wide variety of options that physics students can pursue and find themselves in careers.
Mm-hmm. Being a radio station, I have to ask, where did the arts and entertainment's physics work into the equation?
Sure. So this is a class that is, at its heart, all about the physics of waves. And so we start off with a very light math-based course where it doesn't have any math prerequisites, and so it's a general education type course. And so we introduce the concept of a wave as transferring energy from one place to another. And so we build up the vocabulary of the physics of a wave, and then we go and we expand on that, and we typically use sound and light as the playgrounds where we really explore. So we introduce what a sound wave is, how it's a longitudinal wave and propagates outward from its source. We could talk a little bit about room acoustics in this course, reverberation time, and how you can use various materials throughout a room in order to absorb sound, reflect sound in order to affect the acoustic properties of the room. And then we go on and study the properties of light. And so we'll talk about how we can use refraction, diffraction, interference of light. Go on, talk a little bit about photography and the lenses in a camera, how a camera works, and all those fun things. And it's a fantastic class to teach and also take.
It sounds like a lot of fun. So if someone is interested in contacting you or learning more about the program, maybe it's a student who's interested in maybe thinking of that as a major, how could they get in contact with you and maybe get some more information?
Sure. So if you want to contact me directly, you can use my email, jvanfoss1 at kent.edu. That's JVANFOS, the number 1, at kent.edu. Or you can reach me on my office phone. The direct number there is 330-308-7468.
All right. And I'm sure you're welcome to questions at pretty much any time you can get to it. Is that true?
Oh, most certainly.
All right. Hey, Dr. Van Fossen, thanks so much for joining us. A lot of great information, and have a great Thanksgiving, all right?
Yep. Thank you, Brad. I've enjoyed listening to you over the years as you worked at various stations throughout the valley, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for the history update. We'll talk to you later. That is Dr. Joe Van Fossen, a Claymont grad and now assistant professor of physics at Kent State Tuscarawas, here on Tusc Talks on the BT Morning Show.